Hey, good morning. This is Aaron Marco. I'm here with Core Performance, and I want to talk to you guys a little bit about our product that we have, the IceVents, and what they can do for you. To do that, I'm going to kind of show you how I worked through different stuff that I had, different approaches that I took compared to traditional setups, and where it's really helping me out. So what I want to talk about today is the duty belt setup. We're going to start there and we'll move on. This was one of those, honestly, when I first was approached about the concept, I was a little skeptical. I wanted something, I like having my duty belts really secure on me. I always used to run lots of keepers when I was first a patrolman. And I wanted something super stable so that when I'm running, jumping, getting in and out of the car, I don't have it popping up in the back, all the common problems that we complain about. But as you guys know, when you have to go 10-200, right, you got to get that thing off quick. That becomes an issue. And so it kind of lends itself to a different purpose. This setup I have here is from Snake Eater Tactical. It's actually a three-piece belt system. It's got this inner belt here, which is a real thin Hapalong with loop Velcro on the outside. I like this because its job is to keep my pants up and attach everything, right? So super simple. If I sweat on it, as I do in Texas, would sweat the crap out of it. I don't have a whole lot of bulk here or things that are going to get messed up along the way. And the Snake Eater Tactical setup has a belt pad that will run in between it. So it's got hook Velcro that will attach onto this belt and then loop on the outside that this heavier duty belt will attach to. The cool part is with these IceVents is that they're going to replace that setup and act as our intermediary pad system. So the way that I have this set up here, I took great care because there were a couple of pressure points of where you always have a lot of hip problems, or you've got, big holsters pressing onto you. So I really wanted to make sure that I had coverage there. And the duty belt, where your actual holster goes, was your first one, right? So I took, and the Snake Eater Tactical's got a cool little system where you've got almost a Molly style looping on the inside. So I could attach these here. It makes it a little bit slicker. But I left it hook side out and thread it through my IceVent here and attach it. And I did this one loop side or hook side out, excuse me, so that when I come back to attach this on my belt, my Hapalon belt, I've got loop here. So at least I've got a little bit of anchor here, so that throughout the belt, even though I don't have something specifically attaching the two together, I've got a little bit of shear strength so that I don't have that syndrome where you get out of the back of the car, right, and your duty belt pops up to here and you're having to rearrange your whole self. I hate that. It drives me crazy. So with that, I also took a little extra piece, and because of the way this was set up, it's just got a little bit of hook here. So I couldn't put hook on the outside with the setup that I had, but I wanted something where I could anchor the back of this down where I don't have it moving around a whole lot. And this also traps my baton pouch so that it doesn't have as much room to move around. And so kind of a twofold there. So I ended up putting those on the ends there to just give it a little bit more of stability on the belt. And then when you go to throw it all on, ironically, the easiest way I found to do this is if you step in here. I like to get my holster in the right place first. With this belt, I can lay this guy out. Do that again. I can lay this guy out here so it attaches. I get a nice strong pull around the side, and I'm going to come right in here and hook it down, and now I'm good to go. So I've got my vents sitting on those points on my hip where normally I'm going to have some of that pressure, especially sitting down in the car all day or whatever it is. I've got it in my lower back where I really want to do it, or where I want to make sure I'm taking care of myself. And then the same thing here on this side, and it's easy to move this stuff around, to configure it on your belt how you want it, depending on how you're carrying it and what you have where. We recently went to an outer style carrier vest, which is why I've kind of reduced what I have on my belt. I used to carry everything here and we just had a slick uniform top. Now we've gone to these outer carriers, which I really enjoy. Some people, for us, especially in SWAT work, there's a lot of times where I'm having to change my equipment setup pretty rapidly on the fly. We'll go from out serving fugitive warrants to doing a vehicle assault, and I need something slicker, or we get a call out, and so I've got to pull my top off and get into my heavy gear or something like that. So I wanted some more modularity and not having wiring run underneath my uniform like I would, so that everything was slick and put away. Now